So, I'm out here today in the jungle with me buddy Stony right over there. And we thought we'd like to take a little bit of time out today to have some mind-expanding conversation. I think that would be a fantastic idea, don't you agree? But first now let's take Stony, I told you don't have to wear the mask. You don't have to wear the mask in the woods with social distancing just fine, buddy. Alright? You've got a freaking twig in your head. Let's take the mask off. Alright. Sometimes it's hard to hear people with that mask on. Okay? So, we can talk without it today. Alright, buddy. We've got some important things to talk about. We're going to talk about life. Life. Yeah, Stoney's not too familiar with this subject. He's getting a little crickety, he's kind of old. It's alright though. I accept you as you are, my friend. I do. But, yeah. We're gonna get serious here in a minute. Alright? It's a very serious conversation. All fooling aside, though, I really would like to talk about something important for all of us. About life. Okay? I had this epiphany this morning. I did. Life is like a tree. Or maybe a tree is like life. I don't know. You're gonna have to decide. But I'm going to share with you some thoughts. I am. As soon as I figure out what they are. So I was thinking, what is a tree? When you look at a tree, what do you see? You see a tree. It's just a tree. But is it really just a tree? This gets really complicated. A tree is not a one-dimensional thing. It's really not. So when we look at a tree, again, we see this tree. Okay, it doesn't seem that complex, really, does it? But what is a tree? Really? A tree, let's look at it a little deeper, okay? A tree is composed of roots. It's composed of bark. It has a solid inner core of wood. It has structured leaves and branches. It has all these different parts, right? And this tree, all these trees, individually, take in the energy of carbon dioxide, right? And they transform that energy into oxygen, and then they give it to us so we can breathe, so we can exist. And we exist for them, and they exist for us. And each tree is unique in and of itself, right? But when you put that tree out here in a forest, you have this entire ecosystem that's been created. And all of these trees rely on each other for life. They rely on the air, they rely on the sun, they rely on the earth beneath us. They rely on water. And they all support and sustain each other. And this is life, right here. A tree grows, and it creates a seed. And that seed gets dropped to the ground, and the earth holds that seed. And it turns that seed into a being, a living thing. And as that seed grows, it develops an inner core. And then it forms layers over time. Each of those layers building upon one another as it grows. And within all those layers, if you really broke apart a tree, right, you'd be able to see all these layers inside. And I can't do it because it's too hard. I can't peek in there. I can't poke its layers out. But all those layers reveal little secrets about that tree. It reveals the secrets that tree has gone through, the experiences, the conditions, the weather, you know. Every little layer within that tree tells its own story. You know, we as humans, we have many layers. We go through a pretty similar process. If you want to really take a look at that tree, it really reflects how we ourselves as human beings grow and develop. Except for there's one big difference. The trees aren't out here beating each other up. No. The trees are not diminishing one another. The trees are not being evil. They're not angry. The trees instinctively know that they rely on one another for support and growth to create a harmonious, healthy ecosystem. Have you ever thought about that? I'm thinking about it. Kiwi, I would like to say that I like where you're going with this. Because, you know, all of the trees, they are all individuals. But then when you put all the trees together in a forest, they all kind of start looking the same, really. Except sometimes maybe one tree might stand out. But still, even though they are all unique, individual trees, they understand, though, that they are also all the same. And that they are a part of a collective mutual whole that needs to rely on one another for life. You know, Stony, you're absolutely right. You know, trees get diseases just like humans do. And you don't want those diseases to spread, because those diseases, when they spread, can take down the entire ecosystem. They really can. And with humans, some of those diseases are cruelty, judgment, violence, and abuse. These are terrible diseases, and those are the kinds of diseases that are taking down our ecosystem, our collective whole. So we have to decide as individuals sometimes, what kind of tree do we want to be in this big forest of life? Do we want to be like a tall, healthy tree that provides and supports and nourishes the trees around it? Or do we want to be a diseased tree that's spreading sickness? But, you know, Stony and I wanted to just talk to you guys about that today. And I can tell you, for those of you who made it through this whole video, I already know one thing about you, that you don't want to be the disease. And we appreciate that. So with that said, we're out of here, Stony. Time to wake up!